Judging by the scandals that have engulfed franchises in Australia including 7-Eleven, Caltex, Domino's and most recently Retail Food Group, it seems like the very business model of franchising is flawed. But there are franchises that thrive without problems like wage theft and fraught business relationships. These franchises have a committed franchisor, a proven and evolving brand, and franchisees that are well supported. When any of these components is missing, franchisees can quickly become unprofitable and things can turn ugly. There are some hallmark problems within franchising in Australia and internationally, and not all are within the franchisor's or franchisee's control. No transparency in the model and problems in the supply chain. The first issue is in the supply chain. A good franchisor will source quality products and services that both the franchisees and their customers want, and make them available to franchisees on terms that are more competitive than the franchisee could obtain as a sole trader. They wouldn't let something like a rebate from the supplier stop them from replacing a bad supplier. They will not do as Michelle's Patisserie reportedly did and require franchisees to sell spoiled cakes. Read more. Franchisees don't do their homework and are too optimistic about risks. Research. In a successful franchise, the franchisor's own network of related entities and associates should be aligned with the franchisee's success. But franchise operations have become attractive acquisition targets for venture capitalists. For example, private equity firm Permira was considering buying the Laser Clinics Australia franchise. Franchises are also commonly owned by public companies such as Godfrey's, Acday Group Limited and Yum! Brands. This gives rise to new problems for franchisees. A franchisee might buy their business from one franchisor, but, following sale of the network, have to deal with a new franchisor with different motivations. Venture capitalists and public companies have shareholders who prioritize dividends and capital gain ahead of ongoing success of franchisees' businesses. Under Clause 17 of Australia's Franchising Code, a franchisor has to let franchisees know about any materially relevant changes, such as change of ownership. In reality, once a franchisee has signed the franchise agreement and the 7-day cooling-off period has passed, there is no backing out. A franchisee wanting to make a material change needs to obtain the consent of the franchisor, but the franchisor needs no such consent from franchisees. The Australian franchisor may be a master franchisee. This means they are an independent operator with responsibility for developing the Australian market for a foreign-based franchisor. One example is of a master franchisee is 7-Eleven in Australia. In this case, the franchisor is a Japanese company. It seems the same issues that arose with the brand in Australia also allegedly arose in California. So the system needs overhauling globally. Lack of lobbying and professional support. Another problem in franchising is the franchisor and franchisees are unlikely to seek professional advice from the same sources.